Ratio, proportion and variation. Part 2 it is introduction. Part 1 introduction is completed. Before going to this video, first you see that video, ratio, proportion and variation, part 1 introduction. So this is part 2 introduction it is. Now in this video I will discuss with you what are the principles of ratio, what is meant by equal ratio. Now what are the principles of ratio? There are three principles of ratio. Okay, there are three principles of ratio. Now observe the screen here, observe the screen. Okay, so this is first principle of ratio. What is the first principle of ratio? If the terms of ratio can be multiplied or divided by the same number, its value cannot be changed. If the terms of ratio can be multiplied or divided by the same number, its value cannot be changed. That is called the first principle of ratio. Observe the examples, you can understand very easily. Now the first example is, suppose what is the first example here? 2:3 equal to 4:6 it is. 2:3 is equal to 4:6. How can you get that one? By multiplying into 2 into 2. 2:3, 2 is multiplied by 2, 3 is multiplied by 2. Now here the terms of ratio can be multiplied by the same number, its value cannot be changed. So into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 4 into 4 into 5 into 5, just like multiply with the same number or divided by the same number, its value cannot be changed. Now here 2:3 is equal to 4:6. How can you get that one? By multiplying 2. One more example, 3:5 is equal to 9:15. How can you get that one? By multiplying 3 into 3 into 3. 3:5, 3 into 3, 9. 5 into 3, 15. So 3:5 is equal to 9:15. One more example here, 12:15 is equal to, both are divisible by 3, by 3, by 3. 12 by 3, 4, 15 by 3, 5. So 12:15 is equal to 4:5. Just like that is the first principle of ratio. If the terms of ratio can be multiplied or divided by the same number, its value cannot be changed. Very, very important principles it is. Okay. Now the second principle of ratio, observe the screen here. What is the second principle of ratio? If the terms of ratio must be in the same units. The terms of ratio must be in the same units. Observe the example. First example is 2 hours is to 20 minutes. 2 hours is to 20 minutes by observing first term is in hours, second term is in minutes. According to our principle, they must be in the same units. Both must be either in hours or in minutes it is. So convert hours into minutes or minutes into hours. Any one unit you have to convert here. But which is the easiest one that you have to convert? Which is the easiest one here? Hours into minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Now here 2 hours is given. 2 hours means 120 minutes is to 20 minutes it is. Minutes is to means division again. What happens? It is gets cancelled. Minutes gets cancelled. Now 120 is to 20. Put this in simplified form. Both are divisible by 20. 26, 21. So 6:1. So 2 hours is to 20 minutes is equal to 6:1. But if we cancel from the beginning, 2 hours is to 20 minutes, you get 1:10. It is not equal to 1:10. So its value is equal to how much now? 6:1. Now observe one more example is also given here. What is one more example here? 4 tons is to 8 quintals. 4 tons is to 8 quintals. Tons and quintal both are units of quantity. Units of quantity. Units of weight. Units of weight it is. Weight is measured in tons, weight is measured in quintals it is. So convert tons into quintals or quintals into tons, or both convert into another unit also. Generally weight is measured in kilograms, kgs it is. So both convert into kgs also. So 1 ton equal to 1000 kgs, 1 quintal equal to 100 kgs we know. So here 4 tons is given means 4000 kgs. So 8 quintals means 800 kgs it is. So 4000 kgs is to 800 kgs it is. So history means division. What happens? Kgs again gets cancelled. So we say here ratio doesn't have any units, it is a constant value. Ratio doesn't have any unit, it is a constant value. Why? According to our principle, they must be in the same unit. If they are in the same unit, what happens? Gets cancelled again. So here 4000 kgs is to 800 kgs. So is to means division kgs gets cancelled. Now put in simplified form. 805 is 4000 gets cancelled. So 5 is to 1. So 4 tons is to 8 quintals is equal to how much its value? 5 is to 1. If you cancel from the beginning, what happens? 4 is to 8, 1 is to 2, but it is not equal to 1 is to 2. What is its value now? What is its value now? So 5 is to 1. Similarly, what is the third principle of ratio? Now see here the third principle of ratio. What is the third principle of ratio? The terms of ratio must be in integers, not in fractions, not in decimals it is. The terms of ratio must be in integers, not in fractions, not in decimal. Integers means countable number, simply how to put in our mind. The terms of ratio must be 1 is to 2 is to 3 is to 5 is to 7 is to, just like it is, not in fractions, not in decimal. But sometimes in the exam, okay, the questions are given, ratio is given in fractions, ratio is given in decimal. So you have to convert that into integers. What is the method to convert into integers? Observe the first example. So 2 by 3 is to 5 by 7. The two terms are there. The two terms are in fraction, it is given. 2 by 3 is to 5 by 7. But how can you convert that into integers? If there are only two terms are in fraction, simply by doing cross multiplication. Okay, what is the cross multiplication here? 2 into 7, 14, 3 into 5 is 15. So 14 is to 15. Convert into integers. So 14 and 15 are the countable numbers now. Convert into integers. So if there are two ratios are in fraction, how can you convert into integers? Simply by doing cross multiplication, we get into integers. It is very simple method. Suppose another example is there, more than two fractions is given, what you do? Suppose only two fractions is given, simply by doing cross multiplication, we get the terms into integer. Suppose more than two terms is given, what you do? So what is the method? You have to calculate the LCM of denominators. So here, what is the example here? What is the next example? 1 by 2 is to 3 by 4 is to 5 by 8 it is. 1 by 2 is to 3 by 4 is to 5 by 8. Now calculate the LCM of denominators. What is the LCM of 2, 4, 8? 8 is the LCM. Observe the larger number. In the given values, observe the larger number. If the larger number is exactly divisible by the remaining numbers, we say that larger number itself is the LCM. The very simple shortcut to calculate the LCM. So many shortcuts are there. For the LCM. It is one of the approach. Based on the nature of the values, observe the larger number. In the given values, observe the larger number. If the larger number is exactly divisible by the remaining number, we say that larger number itself is the LCM. Now here 2, 4, 8. So what is the larger number? 8. 8 is divisible by 2, divisible by 4. So 8 is the LCM of 2, 4 and 8. So many shortcuts are there. I will discuss with you in the future videos. It is in the topic of LCM and HCF. What is LCM? How can you calculate LCM? What are the shortcuts in LCM? What are the applications of LCM? Now what is HCF? How can you calculate HCF? What are the shortcuts in HCF? What are the applications of HCF? What is the relation between LCM and HCF? Each and every point I will discuss with you in the topic of LCM and HCF. But here I will discuss only how can you calculate the LCM for the given values. Now here the given values are 2, 4 and 8 it is. The denominator values are 2, 4 and 8. How can you calculate the LCM of 2, 4 and 8? In the given values, observe the larger number. The larger number is divisible by the remaining number. We say that larger number itself is the LCM. So first you have to calculate the LCM of denominators. What is the LCM of 2, 4 and 8? 8. Okay. Now what is the next step? Multiply each and every fraction with the LCM. So 1 by 2. What is here? 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 8. Okay, each and every fraction is multiplied by 8. 1 by 2 into 8, 3 by 4 into 8, 5 by 8 into 8 it is. Multiply with the same number, its value cannot be changed. Already we learned that. First principle it is. What is the first principle of ratio? The terms of ratio can be multiplied by the same number, its value cannot be changed. Here each and every term is multiplied by 8, multiplied by their LCM of denominators. Okay. Into 8, into 8, into 8, all fractions gets cancelled. We get 4 is to 6 is to 5 it is. All fractions gets cancelled. 2 4s gets cancelled, 3 4 2s gets cancelled, 2 into 3 6, 8 1s gets cancelled. So finally you get 4:6:5 it is. Convert it into integers. So 1/2:3 3/4:5/8 is equal to what is its value? So what is its value? 4:6:5. So only 2 terms are in fraction. How can you convert into integers? Simply by doing cross multiplication. More than 2 terms, it may be 3, 4 or 5, any number of terms is given. What is the strategy? Calculate the LCM of denominators, multiply each and every term with the LCM, all fractions gets cancelled, convert into integers it is. Understood? Now suppose the terms are in decimal is given, what you do? The terms are decimal is given. Suppose third example 0.5:0.25. 0.5:0.25. Now here the terms are in decimal. According to our principle, the terms must be in integers only, not in fractions, not in decimal. But sometimes in the exam it may be given in decimal also. But how can you convert this also into integers? Now after decimal you have to observe how many maximum number of digits are there. So 0.5 means after decimal 1 digit is there. Listen to me carefully. Okay, 0.25 means after decimal 2 digits. So maximum how many digits are there after decimal? 2 digits are there. So the first term also can be written as after decimal 2 digits it is. So 0.5 can be written as 0.50, okay, is to 0.25. Now remove the decimal. In the 2 terms remove the decimal. 50:25. 50:25. Now put in simplified form. Both are divisible by 25. 25 2s, 25 1. So 2:1. So 0.5:0.25 is equal to, so 2:1. Observe one more example here. Observe one more example here. What is that example? Suppose 0.5:0.25 so 0.125. 0.5:0.25 Okay, now here the three terms are in decimal now. 3 terms are in decimal. So how can you convert this also into integers? The same strategy you have to follow. What is the strategy? After decimal observe how many digits are there. So after decimal you have to observe how many digits are there. Okay. So now here in the first term, here 0.5, only after decimal 1 digit is there. In the second term after decimal 0.25 means 2 digits are there. In the third term after decimal 0.125 means 3 digits are there. What are the maximum number of digits after decimal? So 3. What are the maximum number of digits after decimal here? 3. So each and every term can be written as after decimal 3 digits it is. So 0.5 can be written as 0.500. 0.25 can be written as 0.250. So 0.125 it is. Now after decimal in each and every term, equal number of digits it is 3 digits are there. Now the next step is what you do? Remove the decimal. So remove the decimal means what you got? 500:250:125. 500:250:125. Now put in simplified form. What is the simplified form? All the terms are divisible by 125. 125 4s, 125 2s, 125 1s it is. So 4:2:1. Converted into integers now. 4:2:1 converted into integers now. So 0.5:0.25:0.125 is equal to how much its value? 4:2:1. These are about the principles of ratio. Okay, these principles are very important for doing the calculations of ratio, proportion and variation. Understood? Now the next one is the equal ratios. What is meant by equal ratios? Observe the screen here clearly. If A by B equal to, C by D equal to, E by F equal to and so on. If the number of ratios are equal, again each term is equal to, each value is equal to, each fraction is equal to sum of antecedent by sum of consequence. Sum of antecedents means the first terms A plus C plus E plus and so on by sum of consequence means B plus D plus F and so on. Each value equal to sum of antecedent by sum of consequence it is. Now observe the example here. 2/3 equal to, 4/6 equal to, 6/9 equal to and so on. Number of ratios are equal. Each value let it be equal to k. But how can you get the value of k again? Sum of antecedent by sum of consequence here. Observe the example. What is the value of k again? Sum of antecedents means 2 plus 4 plus 6. 2 plus 4 plus 6 divided by sum of consequence means 3 plus 6 plus 9 it is. Now by simplification, how much value you got again? 2 by 3. So k equal 2 by 3, that is about equal ratios. This is part 2 introduction. Now some more introduction points are there. In the next video I will discuss with you in part 3 introduction. Okay, I will finish the introduction so in the next video. Okay, thank you to all of you.